Hello, everybody. I am Raluca Nekimish from EMEA Conferences. We have invited today Jose Belo, co-chair of the IAPP Luxembourg Chapter. He will clarify certain GDPR obligations that companies are bound by in the current situation. Hello, Jose.
Hello, Raluca. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm good. On lockdown, as everyone else, but still worried about how this new normal that we're all living in relates to privacy and data protection. So this is a topic that is hot right now. This intertwine between working at home and still being able to do your job and everything else that the employers use to receive the work that we do, the deliverables. It's a very interesting data protection and privacy issue that we're all involved in because we're working from home.
Yeah, many of us are working from home now, and this raises a number of questions. It's very good
Definitely.
that we have you here so we can clarify certain aspects. The first issue, because we work from home, is which are the new GDPR obligations binding the employers in this context where the majority of their employees are working remotely? Which are the new obligations that they must consider now because so many people are working remotely?
Well, the GDPR is very comprehensive on this matter. I think it thought out a lot of things that we are now living. It has given solutions towards solving all the issues that we have. There are some minor issues that need more guidelines, but in the gist of it is in the GDPR. Working from home brings a new challenge towards data protection and privacy when it comes to employees' data protection regarding the company. There's not many data protection policies, employee privacy policies that address this issue. Most of them are for normal work at the workplace. This brings a new challenge regarding the current employee privacy policies that need to be adapted because, as you know, the Barbulescu decision of the European Court of Human Rights said that we need prior information. The employees have to know what's happening with the processing of the data. So what I think companies should do regarding this new normal that we're all living in is inform the employees about the processing and also analyze what data they are using. Because if you think about it, everyone is using IP addresses. Those need to be anonymized. Everything needs to be more privacy oriented because you're working from home. You have to have the security of knowing that wherever you're working from, everything is anonymized and protected, on a data protection standpoint and on a GDPR standpoint. Those are the guidelines from the DPIA, and those are the guidelines that I think are the most correct.
Another question that is raised quite frequently by the companies concerns the type of health data that they may request from their employees, especially during this period. The companies have asked frequently whether they can request their employees to provide them with health data on their temperature or other coronavirus-related symptoms. Do you think that this is okay under the GDPR? Do they need to comply with certain rules, with certain conditions? Which are the requirements?
So now basically we're split into essential workers and non-essential workers. So the essential workers are the ones that go out of the house and go to work normally, journalists, and, newspaper stands, supermarket workers, etc. In those cases, I think that it's a legitimate interest and also a public interest, even if we don't have a law that defines that, so that we can claim legal obligation. But I would claim legal, legitimate interest towards finding the temperature of the individuals that are working, the data subjects that are working. I would also anonymize the data so that we don't, so that the HR doesn't know which employee has a fever, for example, and I would kindly ask the data subject to the employee to go to a doctor, and the doctor would be the one that would collect the health data. I don't think that employees should monitor health data or should process health data in this pandemic that we're all living through. But I think that it's common sense that they also have an obligation towards other workers, other employees, and not allow someone with a fever to come in. It can be a flu, it can be something not related to the coronavirus, but still it's the employer is not the one that should make health data processed, health data driven decisions. So they should send people that have a fever, for example, to a doctor, and they would be the ones that would take the decisions, not the employers. So yes, just to sum it up, yes, I think that there's a public interest and legitimate interest for companies to protect the other workers and their families as well, to not allow people with a fever in. But it's not the job of the employer to know if they have the coronavirus or not. I don't think that's the job of the employer. That's the job of the public bodies, public health bodies that are the governments. They are the ones that should handle this data, not us.
Given the change in the work conditions where many people are working from home, do you think that in this situation the DPIA must be modified? And if you think that it should, which aspects of the DPIA should be modified?
Well, that's actually a very good question. That's a very good question because with everyone working from home, there are companies that provide laptops to everyone and have VPNs, with virtual machines, and have a secure environment. But there are many others that don't, and people rely on their personal computers to connect to servers that probably don't have a token to have access to the server. I don't think that DPIAs would be capable of understanding the whole scope of controls that people have in place, employees have in place, because it's not possible to go to every employee's house and check their computers, not only through social distancing, but also because it's basically impossible. So yes, companies have a big issue here. Companies that have taken steps towards using Citrix, for example, using other tools, Zoom or Skype for business, these tools are all available. But the data that is transferred through the network, is it secure? Is it encrypted? Is it through the servers? Those are challenges that companies need to face, and to be honest, this is a great opportunity for companies to really understand that maybe the workplace environment has changed, and more people will be working from home. Yes. So maybe it's a time to rethink the whole strategy on how people access, employees access the company servers, or share documents, or share emails, etc. So I think that there's the coronavirus has brought this, of course, very bad conditions towards our living, because we're confined at home and we have to stay inside. But also it gives us an opportunity to really understand where companies are missing, and maybe this working from home should be an impetus towards more information security, more safeguards and more controls to protect not only the data, but also the people behind the data.
Thank you very much, Jose. We trust that our listeners will find these clarifications useful. See you all on EMEA Conferences site and social media pages. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.